Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. How are you doing? I'm doing great because we're about to talk about, there's what, 600 champions in this game? 500, 400? I don't know. I gotta find the script somewhere. But there's a lot of champions. There's a lot of epic champions. There's only one most underrated in the opinion of yours truly, and that is Force Affinity, Undead Horde, Enemy Max HP, Husk, man. Husk is the dude that we're going to talk about in today's video. Talk about his best use cases inside the game. Here he is. I wonder what he looks like underneath that full head mask. I don't know why. He's probably some deformed, like, mutant dude, but I kind of picture, like, a Darth Vader thing going on, like some just kind of pathetic-looking old man or something underneath that. Either way, guys, that is Husk. He's got that big kind of saber-like weapon. Very, very cool champion aesthetically, but even cooler when we get into his kit here. So Burning Iron, his A1. He is an HP-based champion. His A1 does scale off of his attack. I believe it's a 2.8 multiplier, maybe a 2.6 multiplier. My bad for not having that up. Either way, it's a pretty hard-hitting A1, but again, it does scale awkwardly off of attack. Can still deal a decent amount of damage, even if you don't have a lot of attack in his build, which is good to know, right? Multipliers are not bad. He also has a 40% chance of landing a provoke on that A1. It makes him perfect for the Magma Dragon. We're going to watch him against floor 110 on hard. The most difficult Magma Dragon in the game is going to be one of our provokers on that team. We might run another provoker alongside him, or maybe a main provoker, and just rely on him to do the damage in today's build. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. So Despair. This is his ability here. It's a 4-turn cooldown. It's an AoE attack based on enemy max HP. It doesn't deal quite as much damage as Royal Guard's takedown ability, but it is very, very close, and it's nice to have a Force Affinity enemy max HP nuker on your team. We're talking a lot of damage, like more damage than any other nuker, non-enemy max HP nuker against bosses, right? And what's better is he can really help you out on waves as well, guys. Check it out. We have a 60% chance of landing a stun debuff on all enemies as well. I mean, a 60% stun, what is that? Is that the same as like Burengiri's or whatever stun? That alone is a good ability. And then you add the fact that it does a ton of damage, it's even better here. Now that I said that, I want to look. What is Burengiri's? He's magic affinity, isn't he? Man, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Where is Burengiri?
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, he's magic. There he is. He has a, 60% chance stun. Man, Husk really showing him up there. Anyway, Retaliate is an alright ability. Attacks one enemy. This one is based on HP. Damage increases according to this champion's current HP. I'm borderline even shutting this ability off because it really deals a little bit less damage, I found, at least in this build, than the A1 does, right? So why am I even bothering with it? It does, of course, increase according to this champion's current HP, so there is that factor as well. But ideally, with a champion like Husk, I mean, he's not a tank. He's going to be CCing the enemies, and he's going to be killing them, so his HP should be pretty healthy at all times. In terms of masteries, guys, you really can go in a number of different ways with Husk. You definitely want to go offense tree. You can pick up War Master, you can pick up Helm Smasher, or like me, you can pick up Flawless Execution, get that extra 20% crit damage. Here's the rest of the masteries that I went with on this champion. If you can get away with it, if you can build enough accuracy on your Husk to go defense tree, nothing wrong with going down and picking up tier 6 Retribution as well. Get more provokes off of that A1, off of those counterattacks. So I went with the accuracy. I probably should have grabbed Swarm Smiter instead of Arcane Celerity. I'm not sure why I made that decision last night. Either way, do as I say, not as I do.
It's like when I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I could have been right, so I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
That makes sense.
I did want to pick up Lore of Steel as well, because we do have a basic artifact set on this champion. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at how I geared him out. I do have one crit damage set and one immortal set. I feel like crit damage is totally fine, or even crit rate if you're struggling to get that crit rate up to get crit damage on the gauntlets. Totally cool with Husk, right? You can also go, of course, with Savage Gear. Man, I'm running out of Savage Gear for all my nukers. Too many nukers on my account. I only have so much Savage Gear. I only have so much energy and time time to farm Fire Knight, man. I can't get enough Savage. Any of you guys in the same boat just running out of Savage gear because You can't have it on every single one of your damage dealers. That's the problem I ran into with Husk. I would go Savage if I had it, but crit damage, or going with, if you can get away with it, going with maybe 3 crit damage sets, 3 perception sets, a crit damage and a couple of perceptions, that's going to be beautiful as well. I went with HP on the ring. I went with crit damage on the amulet. I went with accuracy on the banner to land those stuns, of course, and the provoke on the A1. We went crit damage on the gauntlets there. We went with the HP percentage on the chest, and we went with speed on the boots. I am running a broken set. I have this HP percentage resistance legendary piece that I was just sitting on. I'm like, you know what, this is a perfect piece for Husk. I get 18% crit rate, get some accuracy and some crit damage as well. So I decided to go the broken route, and that's a lesson for any of you guys, right? Don't feel like you have to go with 1 or 2 or 3 artifact sets on a specific champion. Break up your sets, and oftentimes you're gonna get rewarded with even better dividends in terms of their damage or whatever you're looking for in terms of their output. I should roll this up to level 16, but for, you know, this video I didn't. I will go ahead and glyph out some accuracy. Let's go. No, I'm not going to use a 6-star. Come on, Ash. Come on, bro. So the accuracy on our Husk is 290. 290, believe it or not, is a little bit low. He's not going to be consistently landing those provokes against the Magma Dragon unless we're over 300. So we'll have to, you know, go back in here, not when I'm recording the video, and try to optimize that accuracy a little bit more. I'm sure it won't be that difficult to do. All right, guys, so starting out on the Magma Dragon, floor 110, hard as promised here. You guys can see we're going to go ahead and tackle the Magma Dragon only using 1 legendary. It's going to be...
not supposed to be here.
So hopefully you guys have her. If not, you will eventually. We have Rector Drath as a reviver. I like running 2 revivers against the Magma Dragon, especially when things start getting difficult. I'm actually going to take Coldtar out here, and let's put in a... You know what? I thought maybe adding in a Skull Crusher would be really fun on this team, right? And the reason I say that is because Skull Crusher is going to allow us to place that counterattack on both of our provokers, Seeker and Husk, both who have the provoke on their A1s. So hopefully with Skull Crusher on the team, that's going to allow it to keep the Magma Dragon constantly provoked, right? So I'm going to come at you guys when we get to the Magma Dragon. I'll be right back. All right, guys, here we are at the Magma Dragon himself. We land the provoke already off of Seeker's A1. We did 240k damage. You will notice there's no debuffer on this team. That's okay, because we're going to be doing max amount of damage per hit on that A2 anyway. Sure, it'd be nice to have a decreased defense. We do have a weekend on the squad, but we have damage from skills that scale based on enemy max HP. Cannot exceed 10% of the boss's max HP when attacking the bosses, right? So here we go. Skull Crusher keeping himself alive. It's okay if he dies. We're going to take a lot of deaths in a battle like this against the Magma Dragon. That's why we have 2 revivers on the squad, and we have an OP healer. I do have Rector Drath in curing gear, who, by the way, is absolutely insane. I did a video on Rector Drath in curing. Really fun. Scylla Drakes also works in a curing set as well. So here we go. Despair, 228k damage. So we're not only landing the provoke from that A1, which is great to have, but we're also dealing a ton of damage and crowd control applied to the waves vis-a-vis the stun. So a really a perfect champion for Kuldath, the Magma Dragon. You guys can see not a ton of damage coming from that A1. War Master obviously would help that ability out, but again, I prefer the extra crit damage. That was the A3 there, Retaliate. 16k damage, nothing to really write home about. The other abilities outside the A2 are not super hard hitting. We already talked about the awkwardness of the A1 scaling off of attack, which makes no sense. But again, those A2s, when they do come, they really start to add up. 240k a pop. That's all we have to do is basically rely on our healers, rely on the ally protect of Skull Crusher, Seeker, you know, just turn meter boosting, increase attack, and we're going to be fine in this battle. It's a steady, consistent strategy for beating the Magma Dragon, even the hardest Magma Dragon, as you guys can see inside the game. So what I'm going to do is wait for one more wave of despair, as A2 to go off, and then I will come back at you at the end of this battle. We'll see how much damage overall that Husk put out. Be right back. All right, guys, it's about to be dragon down here. Next shot, maybe Husk will get it done right there. No, we're one move away from wave of despair. Let's see if he can finish it right now. Still the Drakes. beats him to the punch. So not too bad. 2 million damage overall put out by Husk. 1.3, 1.6 million heals from Solar Race and Wretched Wrath. No big deal there as well. So very, very fun, very effective team here. Can help you out against any single Magma Dragon level, no matter what difficulty you're on. All right, next up, guys, going to be Spider 19. Spider 19, Husk is a great option for getting through Spider 19. A lot of people struggle more because of the affinity here. They struggle more with Spider 19 than they actually do Spider 20, 21, etc. So I don't actually have an aura lead on this team. I just have it through a couple support champions. We have Reliquary Tender, we have Armiger, we have one Cold Heart and Stagnite as my debuffer. Of course, you want your debuffer going first, going the fastest. That is Despair, 743,000 damage from Husk. And we're also stunning the Spiderling. So you can pair him also with an HP burner instead of other enemy max HP champions. You might be looking at this team and say, well, Ash, I don't have a Cold Heart. Hopefully you should have an Armiger. Open up some mystery shards if you don't and build an Armiger, right? Armiger, Husk, and just a couple support champions are going to be fine to get you through Spider 19, which again can be a very challenging Spider level to get through. So here we go. We're going to circle back to the enemy max HP abilities, and we do have a Reviver and Reliquary Tender on this team as well. 821,000 damage there again from the second Despair, Wave of Despair from Husk, and there goes Armiger chipping away with his turn meter, and then his on his A1, and again his enemy max HP ability on his A2. The cool thing about Husk though, guys, is I could sit here for, you know, an hour, and if you guys prefer longer champion guides, let me know. I'm happy to show you.
No thanks, I choose life.
We used to kind of, back in the day here on the channel, we used to show you like really anywhere and everywhere a champion was viable. Now I'm kind of holding to, okay, here's the use case. You guys can kind of figure out the rest, right? Almost 1 million damage on that last one there. Husk putting out 3.4 million overall damage. But as I was saying, guys, and I'm loving the super raids on Spider, by the way. I'm getting so much silver on my free-to-play account. It is silver galore. It is silver galore right now. Beautiful time, super raids on Spider. But anyway, guys, so we're going to wrap it there, but you can use Husk really anywhere inside the game. Actually, I lied. I'm not going to wrap it there. Now, let's just have some fun in the arena, guys, as I make my, my point I was trying to make. Basically, you can use this champion. Sure, why not? You can use this champ. They might beat me in the speed race, but we will see what we can do here. You can use this champion against bosses. Magic Affinity bosses is where he really shines. He is a Force Affinity enemy max HP option. No other of those inside the game. Here comes his Despair ability right now. Yeah, not a ton in the arena, huh? Not much in the arena. Husk is great against waves and against bosses, but definitely not an arena specialist. But anyway, guys, my overall point, going against Magic Affinity waves that you're struggling with on Doom Tower, Magic Affinity bosses for the enemy max HP option on the Force Affinity, definitely justifies building a champion like Husk, as we showed at the end of the video here, not necessarily for the arena, but definitely against Magma Dragon, against Spider, or against any dungeon that you need a little bit of crowd control and a little bit of damage from that A2. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know, do you agree or disagree? Is Husk the most underrated champion maybe in the game, most underrated epic? Let me know in the comments below. If you disagree, who is it then? Who is it? Let me know. Thank you for watching all the way till the end, and as always, take care, guys.